pray for the nation. Many people are unproductive in their church ministry because they rely on self, academic competency, experience, and connection. They fail to see that church ministry are purely spiritual in nature, because the church is a spiritual organization as well as a spiritual organism. When the church prays, Satan is put on hold. His plans and all his intents are frustrated and are destroyed. When the church prays, the church worker are fortified, inspired, and receive direction to fulfill God's mission. Prayer as a weapon of peace and progress cannot be overemphasized. The church worker, therefore, must pray and ensure to practice these three dimensions of peace, as I've mentioned earlier. Peace between God and man. Today, the church has a position that we are praying ever greater, better than before. But we should be quick to ask ourselves, are we getting results commensurate to the prayers we are praying? Most of our prayer gathering today are not more than mere noise making. I'm sorry to use that word. And anytime I find myself before God, anytime I kneel to pray, but especially when I'm invited to come and speak, to come and pray, one of my prayers is that, God, let not these activities be a mere noise making. And I pray again that your prayer will not just be empty noise. But today, if we must face the facts, we are praying, but are we getting results? Churches now engage 21 days prayer and fasting, 14 days prayer and fasting, 7 days prayer and fasting, 7 nights of vigil. People come en masse. We bring musicians to full crowd. We lay our hands on different things in the name of we want to worship. We want to pray. But are we getting the desired result? Just like that Yoruba song that the elderly one used to sing. Ọlọ́run ṣe bẹbẹ bí tàtijọ́, àwa la ò sin bàbá bí tàtijọ́. God is still greatly at work, but we are the ones that are not worshiping him. We are the ones that are not seeing things from the way he is saying it. And that is why I strongly believe that there is the need for each one of us to ask. I'm not saying we are not born again. I'm not saying we are not preachers. I'm not saying we are not called. I'm not saying we don't love to pray or we don't love prayer. But I should ask myself, do I have peace with God? You should ask yourself, are you at peace with God? Until you are at peace with God, until I am at peace with God, we cannot pray and pray through. Prayer cannot be effective and efficient in our hand. Prayer cannot produce the desired result. Am I at peace with God? Are you at peace with God? As preachers of the gospel, is my life at peace with God? Is God at peace with me? Somebody prayed a prayer one day, and I continued to think about it. He said he was praying in Yoruba, and he said, Ọlọ́run, iṣẹ́ ìránṣẹ́ mi yìí jẹ́ kó pé ọ. Tó bá pé ọ náà, jẹ́ kó pé èmi. And I continued to think on that word. Let my ministry be profiting or be profitable unto you, and let it also be profiting or be profitable unto me. Is our prayer profitable unto God? Is our prayer in line with what God himself called prayer? Oh, we are quick to quote 2 Chronicles 7. If my people that are called by my name will humble themselves, repent and seek my face, I will heal their land. Yes, we want to pray, but what about the expectations, the qualifications? I want us to spend quality time praying on these 3 dimensions of peace. And so I'm going to summarize. But let us be sincere. If we are going to be an effective praying Christian, a Christian praying with resolve, then there is the need for my life, for your life, to be at peace with God. There is the need for peace between God and man. And the second one is also very, very important, though building on the first one. Peace within man himself. Peace within man himself. Is your spirit, as a praying Christian, in agreement with your soul, with your body? Do you have internal peace? Even when you have prayed, yes, we can go to God. We can approach our prayer altar with a lot of burden, with a lot of confusion, with a lot of trouble. And when we have prayed, after the prayer, do we have peace within ourselves? A while ago, we made reference to Anna. She was at Shiloh, troubled. And the Spirit of God prompted her to go and pray. Immediately after she prayed, in fact, during the hour of prayer, she was provoked. The man who's supposed to know did not know. She was taken for an harlot, for a drunkard. But because this woman was in the spirit, this woman was in agreement with God. Her spirit, soul, and body was in agreement with what she was doing. She did not lose her temper. She explained herself diplomatically to that prophet, and the prophet pronounced prophetic blessing upon her. And after that, the Bible recalled that she had peace within herself. The people that saw her before she left home, when she returned, they saw a different person. She would not partake at the table with them. But when she came back, the Bible recalled that she went to eat. People of God, if we are going to pray and get result, if prayer will serve as a weapon to depopulate the kingdom of darkness, if prayer will serve as a weapon to bring change in our land, there is the need for the individual that is involved in prayer to have peace within himself. Many times we will be coming from the place of prayer and we will be saying negative things. Many times we are soaked in prayer, we have prayed, we have labored in prayer. A few minutes after that moment, we'll be saying things contrary to what we have settled on our knees. They are indications that such person lack peace within himself. And I said peace with God is a prerequisite for man's internal peace. Man can only be at peace with himself by surrendering to the Prince of Peace, who is the author of life. Prayer, incidentally, is the only means of reaching out and communing with God through the Prince of Peace. Many things becloud the spirit and mind of man. This leads to anxiety, restlessness, stress, and frustration. The scripture presents prayer as antidote to worries and all forms of troubles of life. Prayer is a means of expressing faith in God of all possibilities. Hence, prayer is a weapon of peace and progress. Last but not the least, on that triangle of peace, peace between man and man. And this is a great area that the devil continues to rob the church of God, to rob Christians. Oh, we love to pray. We cherish prayer. We believe in prayer. But our perfect example said, if you want to even give an offering, you want to offer something to him, and you discover that you have wronged somebody or somebody has wronged you, there is a conflict between you and the other person. Put your seed, put your gift, put your offering aside. We should go and do what? Reconcile. Before we come to offer. Not only talking, not to the extent of we want to receive from him. As I move around, speaking on prayer on different altars in different churches, many times you will ask people, let's rise, join your hand with the person by your side. And what will happen? That person will pass 2-3 rows